Welcome back. Today marks what would have been the 100th birthday of Andimba Toivo Ya Toivo, a towering figure in Namibia's struggle for independence and a revered national hero. To honor his legacy, we speak with his daughters this evening, Nashikoto and Mutaleni. Through their personal reflections and stories, we hope to gain deeper insight into the life and values of a man who dedicated his life to the freedom and development of Namibia. Ladies, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Well, of course, today all over NBC, we've been celebrating your father's legacy and his life. And you ladies were also on our breakfast show this morning speaking on this topic. So I want to ask you, how, do some of your earliest memories of your dad shape your understanding of the role that he played within Namibian history? Let's start with you.
Okay. Honestly, he was our father, right? And so we knew we were attending events and we were going to various different things, but at the time we were so young, we weren't really sure, he was just our dad. Mm-hmm. And once we got to an age where we understood, who he was as a person, and, it was explained to us by our parents, and then we also were able to do our own research. We knew that he was, this influential figure in Namibia's history, but again, he was Papa, he was our dad.
Mutaleni, how did your father's dedication to, Namibia's independence influence your own sort of life choices and maybe even your career paths?
Well, we are grateful for the sacrifices my dad and so many other Namibian heroes made for our country, and we thank them for that. But overall, I think it's been really nice to have the freedom of choice to study what we want. I'm an architect, my sister is a vet, and my dad never deterred us or discouraged us. He just always motivated us to work hard, both my mom and my dad, work hard for ourselves and to make them proud. Mm-hmm. And really there were no difficulties in any of it. It was just continuous support throughout. Mm-hmm. Throughout and on our journey to becoming what we wanted to be. So the fact that he sacrificed all he did for us to have independence or to be free, we are now living that freedom.
That's fantastic.
It's really great.
None of you have the itch to enter into politics at some stage of your lives, because sometimes these things are hereditary.
We'll see.
Maybe my sister.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, we are both part of the SWAPO Youth League, but for now, I just recently graduated and became a doctor in veterinary medicine, so I want to be with my animals for a few years.
I don't know if I am into politics like that. Mm-hmm. I don't mind observing from the outside to see if they're making it or breaking it on his behalf. But I don't particularly have an interest. It's not for me, but maybe for my sister.
As you mentioned, to you, your dad was just your dad. You didn't quite recognize him in the earlier years as this big political figure that he was for the rest of Namibians. Talk to us about the type of relationship that you shared with your father, and of course with each sibling you have a different type of relationship with your parents. So what was your relationship like with your dad?
Close. Mm-hmm. I mean, we would, both of us actually, he was very insistent on Sunday cleanups, so in the garden or just within the house. But he taught us to drive. He drove.
Automatic. It was automatic.
But no, we had a close relationship. He helped us with our homework when he could, and he was very, he was human, right?
Yeah.
And he not only, played a role, and we didn't only share him with the nation, but he did do what he had to do as a father. Yeah. And so he came to our ballet recitals or violin or soccer practice.
Very present.
Yeah, very present.
Very present for somebody who was considered very busy.
Because I was going to say with, politicians and being a politician's, son or daughter, they're almost never home because they do so much. They travel a lot and you almost never get to see them. So what was your relationship like with him, Mutaleni?
I think it was the same. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was really any different because we are twins. We did pretty much the same activities. He was always there, even though he was very busy. Back in the day, he did teach us how to write cursive. He would sit there with us on the couch. We'd have a drawing board, and we'd have to go over the letters. I'm forever grateful for the relationship I had with him. But one would hope that your parent would be around forever, but that's not the case. If anything, my sister saw him on his last day. I didn't. So it's sad, but I'll forever have the memories I have with him from the years prior to that, and just keep those close to my heart.
That's beautiful. What values or principles, are there that your dad upheld that you feel, you emulate in your everyday life?
Should I go first?
Yes, please.
I think a lot of what he stood for and a lot of values he had, we are exactly that, probably a copy and paste. Honesty. My dad did not like liars. We ourselves and my mother do not like liars. We can smell you from afar. Honesty, integrity, service to the people in the work that we do. I mean, people will see us and they consider us celebrities or public figures. We don't see ourselves as that. We just see ourselves as daughters of a great man who we appreciate, but we don't compare ourselves to anybody. We're at the same level. Treat everybody the same. I think my sister can speak on some of the other values.
What values do you still uphold and emulate, Nashikoto?
Courage, bravery. I studied for a long time outside of Namibia, and that took, in a foreign language, and so that took some dedication. I'm quite tenacious, so I'm as he was, but also just internationalist. Some might say, but no, I think we both share many different qualities, not only of our father, but also of our mother as well.
And still sticking with the Sunday cleanups?
I just arrived last Sunday, so I'm quite jet lagged.
I don't live in the country,
but I will.
I hear the excuses loud and clear.
We do our own Sunday cleanups if it's not at home.
How do you and your family celebrate and remember your father's contribution and obviously his legacy on important occasions such as this? This is not his first birthday, but obviously it's a really big one. Anything special perhaps you have planned, Nashikoto?
Well, example today, we had a get together of close family and friends. Because we do know it is an election year, we didn't want to overshadow that or do anything to deter from that, and so we just kept it quite close and intimate, and so we did that at Heroes Acre. But every year, within ourselves or afar, because we were both in foreign countries, we make it a point to celebrate or go to Heroes Acre or just do what we can to remember him.
I also remember, Mutaleni, that you guys had established, I think it was like a fitness event in honor of him as well, a walk or run. Do you still do that? Is it still ongoing? Tell us about the success of that.
I think that first event, I can't remember what it was called, but it was in collaboration with Windhoek City Runners, if I'm not mistaken. It was a success. I don't know why it has stopped, but I believe it's something we have to continue because my dad was someone who was very fit and exercised up until the last day of his life. I know Namibians are runners, so they like to engage in running. It's a good social thing, and especially if you're doing it, you're doing it for yourself, but also in honor of somebody else who stood for the same thing. It gives you more motivation to do that. So I believe we do have actually, there is going to be a Windhoek City run on the 8th of September. In collaboration with Nedbank. I think there'll be more information about that in the weeks to come, but that's also in light of him having been somebody interested in sports and fitness. Fantastic. Continue that.
I look forward to seeing all the details around that. Ladies, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. When we come back after this brief break, our conversations continue here on the Daily Roundup. Stay with us.